Yes, you lot, welcome back to the Louis Talks Footy channel. Today we're reviewing Manchester City versus Real Madrid. So I just want to start off by saying I think that game last night was arguably one of the performances. So I just want to start off by saying last night I think that was arguably one of the performances from the season on some level from Manchester City. I thought we showed passion, I thought we showed heart, I thought we showed a will to win and a will to fight. And that for me was all I wanted to see from Manchester City in that game yesterday. 3-0 down against Real Madrid. We obviously conceded 3 at the Bernabeu and then the return fixture was at the Etihad. We had a mountain to climb. For me, it was mission impossible before the whistle even blew. I really struggled to believe that we could turn it around just because of the performance we put in at the Bernabeu. Just thinking, how can a week on from that game we change so much and be a totally different team and turn it around and beat them 4-0. I just really struggled to even conceive that that was a possible idea. Like I say, all I wanted to see was some passion, some fight, and some will to win and some belief from the lads that could instill some belief in me. And just to give us something that we could take into the rest of the season and apply that to the future games. And I think we definitely did that last night. People will say, how can a 2-1 defeat to Real Madrid at home be one of the performances of the season? But it's what I just said. It's fight, it's passion, heart. And we played some decent football. We had some bright sparks out there tonight. And we've not had that at points this season in terms of a real will to win and a real fight from minute one. At Anfield, we obviously got the result and we showed some real heart, fight and backbone towards the back end of the game. But we didn't show that for 90 minutes all throughout the game. And I think last night, for 90 minutes, City were the better team. And we looked capable of scoring. We looked threatening. We were winning the 50-50s. Even when we were down to 10 men, we were winning the 50-50s. And we looked like the dominant team. Now, I think that speaks volumes about Man City, this squad, and what we're capable of. And I feel like it's taken something like being 3-0 down at Madrid to say, right, we've not got anything to lose. Let's go and put our hearts on our sleeves and let's go and take it to them and really show them what we can do. And we definitely did that last night. And, you know, it's difficult to sit here and say we can do that every week. Let's play like that every week. You can't play like that every week. It'd be stupid. It'd be ludicrous. It'd be dangerous to play like that every week because the way we had to play last night, we were always going to concede a lot of chances to Real Madrid. So what we had to have was, one, a lot of fight, attack, and flair going forward to be able to get 4 goals and overturn the 3-0 deficit that we had. But then we also had to have 2, a lot of luck on our side defensively because we were always going to be left wide open at the back with the amount of bodies that we had to put forward. And I think largely we dealt with it and absorbed it very well. I think it was very unlucky that obviously the Bernardo Silva handball and the red card, I think that's just, I don't know. Like I say, I feel like the attacks were bound to happen, and when you're wide open like that, there's always going to be chances that they could score. And like I say, we had to have a little bit of luck on our side. So in that moment, we didn't have a bit of luck on our side. The goal was definitely going to go in from Vinicius Jr. His shot was on target. And Bernardo Silva, I can't blame him at all. I totally understand why he did what he did. It's a reflex action. He's so, focused on getting the win and making sure that Real Madrid don't score. He's literally just reflex, stuck out his elbow and tried to get whatever he can on it. And at the end of the day, it's the denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity, and it's 100% a penalty and a red card for me. I don't really get why some City fans are arguing that. I don't get why people are contesting that. It's the denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity, and he's used his elbow to do that. It's a blatant red card handball for me. Vinicius Jr., I'm starting to see why people don't like him. I've always not really taken much notice of him, but that celebration with obviously the crying, that really pissed me off. Yeah, that rubbed the salt in the wound a little bit. But I don't know. You can still keep crying, Vinny, as well, about your lack of Ballon d'Ors. I thought there was a few standout performances out there tonight. I just want to name a few players that I thought were quite good. Rodri I thought was solid. I thought Nunez and Aït-Nouri was solid. I thought Cherki was solid. I think he gives us just a complete different dimension and a different creative outlet that obviously we don't have when he's not playing. We don't have any other kind of player that is similar to Cherki to bring on or to start when he's not there. So I think Turkey is such an important part of this team, and I think he's only going to grow and become an even bigger part. And I understand at the moment why he's not really getting the game time. I feel like Guardiola's just trying to teach him a few lessons before he sticks him into the squad every single week. He's shown glimpses of what he can do, and we know the talent he's got. I think he just needs to reach a certain level of maturity on the pitch to be fully trusted and to start every week. But Turkey out there, I thought he was really good last night. Haaland obviously grabbed the goal. I thought he was all right. He didn't do too badly at all. Obviously, yeah, I mean, he scored the goal, so you can't really argue with that. But the two main guys that I really want to talk about are, number one, Kushnerov. I think this guy is ridiculous. I really, really do. I think his pace, his timing of the tackle, his ball playing ability, I think everything about him is class, and I genuinely think he's going to go on to be a world-class centre-back. I think he's got a ceiling that no one even knows what his ceiling is right now. He looks that good, and I think it just speaks volumes that a few of the changes that Guardiola made to his starting 11 in the return fixture at the Etihad to the one at the Bernabeu, Kushnerov was still in there. Kushnerov was moved from, obviously he played right back at the Bernabeu, and he was moved back into centre-back. But Guehi made way for Kushnerov. Obviously Nunes went to right back. And I think it just shows how much Pep Guardiola trusts him. When one of the greatest managers of all time, arguably the greatest manager of all time, is putting that trust and faith in you, you know that this kid is really something special. So listen, I think last night, we really learned a lot about this squad. I think this squad has a bit about them. And I know that there's a lot of talent in there. It's a young squad. A lot of them are very new. And I feel like this is one for the future. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that, listen, this was never our year. We weren't meant to win the Premier League this year. We weren't even meant to be in a title race this year. I personally don't believe that. I feel like we still can push Arsenal. And I feel like we could have pushed Arsenal a little bit more. I hear what people are saying in terms of this is a squad for tomorrow. This is a squad for next season. This is a squad to develop. I completely understand that with the players we've got. And the second guy that I really wanted to touch on from last night was Jeremy Doku. Now, anybody who watches the channel regularly or knows me will know how highly I rate Jeremy Doku. I talk about him all the time, and he is my favourite player in this squad. And he's very polarising. A lot of people have mixed feelings on Doku. People, obviously he needs to improve. He has room to improve. He's still a very young guy. You look at Mo Salah when he was Jeremy Doku's age. He wasn't doing the kind of things Jeremy Doku does. And Jeremy Doku, for me, I think everyone knows this, but obviously, to state the obvious, he is the best one-on-one take-on winger in the world. I genuinely haven't seen anything like him before. The way he moves, his explosivity, and it is a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes he doesn't do it as much as others, but sometimes he has a game and he's just non-stop taking people on. I think about that game against Liverpool last season. I think he took on Trent like 13 times or something like that. And, I don't want to touch on last season because last night he was absolutely incredible. And I think every time I watch Jeremy Doku, he's one of our brightest sparks. And I think he definitely was that last night. I think he brings an energy, an excitement to the team, a buzz that just lifts everyone's spirits. And when Jeremy Doku gets on the ball, you're always excited to see what he's going to do. I think the output and the numbers thing is something to have a look at. Obviously, he needs to improve that. At the end of the day, if you're taking people on and nothing's coming of it, that needs to be addressed. But I feel like he is developing that side of his game a lot more. I think even from last season, we can look at the way he's developed in terms of his final ball and his decision making. There's a lot to improve there. His decision making is still bad. I will say that. His decision making is still not great. It definitely needs to improve. There's times where he gets the ball, he takes someone on, or he gets the ball, and instead of taking someone on, he should pass it because the pass is on. And he doesn't do that. I think at the Bernabeu last week, that there was a chance where he should have pulled it back to Haaland, and he didn't. And it's times like that where you just think, mate, just have a look up, or decision making isn't great. So I hear it. I understand why people get frustrated by it. But for me, I just really think he's world class, and I think he's going to go on to be one of the best wingers in the world. I said last season that he's going to be one of the best wingers in the Premier League this season when people were calling for him to be sold in the summer. I never thought that was a good idea. And I think this season he has shown that he's one of the best wingers in the Premier League, undoubtedly. I really think he is. Up there with the likes of Semenyo and Buemo. I really think he's that good, and I think he's only going to develop and progress. So yeah, I thought it was a very impressive performance from Jeremy Doku as well last night. Like I say, it's just frustrating that it takes us to be 3-0 down to Real Madrid to really go and show that heart and the fight that we saw last night. Because like I say, it was from minute 1 to minute 90, and I think every City fan, or most City fans coming out of that game, is going to be impressed with that performance, and they're not going to be fuming. Because, like I say, I wasn't expecting any crazy remontada last night. I wasn't expecting that. I just, like I say, just wanted to see some fight, some passion, some heart, and I got that in abundance. So if I can see that on a bit more of a regular basis, I'll be very, very happy going forward into the rest of the Premier League season, the Carabao Cup final, the FA Cup. I really want to see a little bit more of that. And like I say, it's unrealistic to say we're going to get that every week. We're not going to get that every week. You can't kitchen sink it every week because you're leaving yourself too wide open. In a one-off game like that, you can kitchen sink it and throw everything at it. But like I say, Premier League games, cup finals, you can't do that. But if we just take a little percentage of the heart, the fight, the passion that we saw last night and channeled that into the side throughout the rest of the season, I really think it just scales up our performance, at 20, 30%. I really do. In terms of winning 50-50s, just will to win, I think we've missed that a lot. You look at the game against Nottingham Forest, a bit of will to win, bit of fight, a bit more energy, passion, aggression. I think it takes us over the line. You look at the game against West Ham, I think it's similar. The game at the Bernabeu, I really think we lacked a bit of something there. And the Bernabeu's a scary place to go. It's Madrid. It's Real Madrid. It's a hostile, historic stadium. So I understand it a little bit. But, we've done it before at the Bernabeu, and last week it didn't happen. I really think that last night, if Bernardo Silva stays on, or there was a different turn of events, different circumstances, and he didn't have to do the handball, or that he wasn't in a position where he needed to handball it, I really think we really push Madrid in that game. I think we take it to penalties maybe. That might be pushing it a little bit. That might be a little bit hopeful. But I really think I saw something about us even at 10 men, like I say. We look like we're the dominant team. So with 11 men, I really think we had them under the cosh at times. And, I think City could have gone on to do something really good last night if we'd have had 11 men. And obviously that's a big if. Like I say, we left ourselves wide open. That was always going to happen even if we had 11 men. There was always going to be more opportunities for them to score or for something rash to happen like a red card. But yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on it. At the end of the day, I think City played well. I don't think we can complain about the performance we saw last night. But I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about that. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Manchester City and football content. I like making these videos, and I like even more hearing what you lot have to say about it. I'm always really interested to see what other fans' opinions are. I'm always open to it. And I really want to hear what you lot have to say. If you disagree on anything, let me know. If you agree, let me know. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It massively helps the channel out. I'm a small creator trying to come up and, grow in this space. And just liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing will just help me do that. So please do that now, and I'll see you lot in a bit.